Hello everyone. So in this video, I will present an article and I hope we can have fun together in this presentation. Okay, before I start my presentation, let me introduce myself first. My name is Diah and just call me Diah. And of course, I'm from Melanga University and taking Diploma of Accounting program. Okay, so let's move into the next session. So basically, in today's presentation, I will talk about how important financial report, especially balance sheet, in small business or even small enterprises. And of course, I'm taking this topic because I'm majoring in accounting. Okay, so my presentation is relevant for those of you who want to build some small business or even small enterprises. And by the end of the presentation, I hope you guys will understand about how important balance sheet in the small business. Okay, so let's start my presentation in three, two, one. Okay, hello everyone. Today I'm excited to present article titled Balance Sheet Utilization as Implementation of the Management Function MSME Capital. So basically the original title for this article is Pemanfaatan Raja sebagai penerapan fungsi pengelolaan permodalan UMKM. And then this article is written by Lutfia Sevriana. Next slide. Oh, there's my short profile. Yeah, that's me, Diah Kartika, and then that's my picture, and then under my name, there are my student number, and of course, this video presentation was made for my professional English assignment. Next. No. Okay, before I start my presentation, there are some table of content that I'm gonna explain to you. The first one is introduction, and then methodology, findings, discussion, and for the last one is conclusion. Next. Oh, yeah. There is some sort of introduction that I'm gonna explain to you. Yeah, micro, small, and medium enterprises is sorted by MSME or even though UMKM play a vital role in economic growth. Like, guys, UMKM are the backbone of Indonesia's economy. UMKM contributing significantly to employment or even GDP. So GDP stands for gross domestic product. So basically it's like income from our country, Indonesia. But however, many UMKM face financial management challenges, particularly in capital management and then financial reporting. The challenges are poor capital management, lack of financial reporting, and limited banking access. So I think this isn't just about technical problem, it's a trap. Because why? Without financial record, UMKM can prove their credibility to banks, investor, or even themselves. Like, how can you grow if you don't know where your money is going? And next slide. Oh, yeah, there's a reason, and it's from current scenario in nowadays. Like the first one is UMKM dominate Indonesia's economy but struggle with financial management. And then the second is many UMKM lack commitment to preparing financial statement despite knowing their benefit. Right, there is stated benefit. So basically, a lot of UMKM who doesn't prepare a proper financial report because they are not knowing their benefits, the benefits of preparing a proper financial report. And then the plus scenario with balance sheet are critical for banking access. For example, credit approvals but are often neglected. And of course, the data back this up. For Andriani said that UMKM like systematic bookkeeping and financial discipline. Drake and Fabusi stated that financial reporting enables internal or external communication and decision making. Okay, next slide. Oh, there are thesis statement. So the first one, with OMKM in adopting balance sheet for better capital management. So the writer will guide OMKM to adopt balance sheet. So balance sheet basically is one of the financial report, and then that's very important to show about how business going, and then the business is healthy or not. Yeah, that's why it's very important. Even support of small business like OMKM. And then the second thesis statement, to propose academic or governmental support for financial capacity building. And of course, we need help from external, for example, from academic or even governmental. Next slide. Oh, there is methodology that the writer make. Sorry, I mean, or the writer used to make this article. Next. Oh, there are some tables. And then the research design that the writer used for this article was qualitative secondary research. So basically, the writer analyzed the data from collecting 40 UMKM data in Bandung, and then the writer used some kind of a government report, and then Bank Indonesia report, and etc. Oh, and of course, the writer used SWOT analysis. So SWOT is stand for strength, weakness, opportunities, threats. Basically, SWOT analysis is to analyze or to diagnose their financial weakness or even their opportunities used for using uh, a very simple financial report. And then there is a data source that the writer used for this article. There is like 40 UMKM in Bandung's industrial center with no prior banking credit experience. So basically, the writer used the data for UMKM with no prior banking. So the UMKM is very hard to have like financial support. I think, yeah, financial support from bank on, or even though from creditors, from other creditors, like, or so. And then the second data source, oh, there is a government report like Bank Indonesia, Ministry of Cooperatives and UMKM, yeah, I already stated before in research design. Research design. Then there is four procedures that the writer used for this article. The first one, collect data from OMKM, government, and literature, because the writer used qualitative research. So that's why it's just collect data. And then conduct SWOT analysis to evaluate financial reporting challenges. And then the third one, develop a phase training program for UMKM based on SAK ETAP. So SAK ETAP is like standar akuntansi keuangan, ekuitas tanpa akuntabilitas publik. So basically, it's a policy or a regulation to help OMKM or even those small business to create very, very simple financial report. And then the fourth one, or the last one, is to propose integration of balance sheet with OMKM website for transparency. Okay, the next one is, oh, findings. Okay, I already analyzed this article and find that only 20% of UMKM prepare formal balance sheet despite knowing their importance. So I think there's a very small number that I can make a simple conclusion that it's a very little OMKM knowing the benefit of preparing some proper financial statement. So yeah. And then the second is like 60% of Bandung UMKM trained in digital tools failed to maintain them post training. So I'm gonna explain that the writer already give the 40 UMKM a training to make a simple website or even the blog to give them like what's called, to give them support about how OMKM create a simple balance sheet, a simple cash flow like that. But 16% of them is failed because I think because already give up. Like 70% of OMKM without financial statement got a loan rejection from bank. Because why? Because like nowadays bank only trust paperwork. So OMKM who doesn't know about how to make a proper financial report, they have like small possibilities to get financial support from bank. So that's why they stated that they got a lot of rejection from making a loan. And then the next finding is bank required proper financial statement to access credit worthiness, and OMKM without balance sheet often struggle to obtain loans. Yeah, it's like same as like I stated before. Yeah. And then the last finding is the lack of structured financial reporting prevents OMKM from securing necessary fundings, making it difficult to grow their business. So, yeah, OMKM lack of understanding about how to make financial report, or even it's a small, very, very simple financial report. They just OMKM, they just make a note on their book, but it's just for them. Like maybe external or outsider read their book, they don't understand what OMKM owner written on that book. That's why we need a proper financial report. So the outsider or external, they understand about what we write about our business condition. Yeah, something like that. Then the next is discussion. We have three discussion, and then the last one is TAP is too complicated. Like small business get confused by official accounting rules with terms like fixed asset and liabilities. So basically, fixed asset and liabilities is a code name for making a proper financial report. So that's why I guess many MKM already give up with that complicated name for this transaction in for this transaction for the account. Yeah, maybe it's too complicated for them. So many, oh yeah, they're already stated here that many give up and just use simple notes or memory, making it hard to get loans. Yeah, I already explore on finding slide. Yeah, it's hard to get loan and they often get rejection by banks. And then the second discussion and fancy technology tools don't work. After training, 6 out of 10 owners stop using business website or blogs because they're too hard to update. So they miss change to show banks their sales record. So basically, the writer already trained them about how to access website or blogs, so the banks or the creditors or even the creditors could know about how much their sales, how much their profit in a year or even in a month. So it's make uh, easier to banks know how their business condition, but it's sadly after training, 6 out of 10 owners stop using business website or blogs. And then the last discussion is banks only thirst paperwork. Banks want perfect financial report, but small shops run on trust and daily sales. Good business can get loans even when they're doing well. So, in this statement or in this discussion, banks only trust paperwork. So, of course, they need a very, very proper because, like I said before, a paperwork or a proper financial report is very important to get them or to get them as OMKM owners to get a loans from bank or even though from future creditors. I think, yeah, good business can get loans even when they're doing well. even when UMKM doing well, they got a lot of profit in a year, but they don't make a proper financial reports. Bank wouldn't give them a loans because they don't have a proper or a trust paperwork. Next, there's my opinion about this article. So my first opinion, well, as ETAAP simplifies accounting, it remains so technical for many micro business. Instead of forcing from a system, we should adopt to their existing practice and gradually or slowly introduce accounting concept. So based on the findings that I stated before, like 18 yeah, 18% of OMKM doesn't know about how to make a proper financial report. I guess it best for us to adopting the existing practice like warung style notebooks, but this transaction is from that customer, this transaction from that customer, just like that, and slowly introduce them about accounting concept. Use the simple one like SAK ETAP. It's very simple regulation to help them. And then government training programs often end after workshop. OMKM this OMKM need ongoing mentorship, such as student assistants and then community facilitators like that. Yeah, I think a lot of government training program and in um, after workshop, and they don't continually give very proper mentorship from for OMKM. So that's why OMKM just understand in the first class or the first mentoring, but they still confused actually. They still confused. So in the next month or even though in the next year, they're confused about how can I make a proper financial statement. I'm confused at the very first class. So yeah, that's why I guess government training program should continue after the end of the workshop. So yeah, like maybe I am as a university student could help the OMKM after the workshops. So maybe I will guide them to make a proper financial report. Yeah, something like that. And then my last opinion is OMKM really need to expand their knowledge in preparing simple financial report because these report are very useful for sustainability of their business. Yeah, like I said before, proper financial statement is very important. Because why? Because everyone or every institution needs that, or maybe bank, and then what's that? And then government or investor, creditor, very need a proper. Oh, sorry, and or even OMKM themselves is really need that simple financial report and proper financial report. Because why? That is very useful for the sustainability of their business. Of course, every business thinks that their business must be going concern. Yeah, the going concern concept very important because they need to make loans, they need to make fund, they need to make capital for the sustainability of the business. So that's why it's very important to to make a very proper financial report. But remember, guys, proper isn't the same as complicated. Proper, we have proper with a simple method, just like that. And then, okay, for the last one, we have conclusion here. So this is maybe the last slide that I'm gonna explain to you about the conclusion for this article and then for my opinion. So I'm gonna read it for you. In conclusion, the study reveals that while proper financial reporting through balance sheet is crucial for UMKM growth, most Indonesian small business face three key obstacles. The first one, accounting standard SAKETAP that remain too complex for micro enterprises. And then second, digital tools that don't match their technical capabilities. And then the third one, banking requires requirements that favor formal documentation over actual business performance. The solution lies in developing ultra simple financial tracking method tailored to micro business operation, utilizing familiar communication platform like WhatsApp rather than complex website, and encouraging financial institutions to accept alternative proof of business health beyond traditional reports. Ultimately, empowering MKM requires financial solutions that align with their real-world operation rather than imposing system designed for larger enterprise. So uh, there's some lot of no, it's not a lot. It's a short conclusion. There is a problem and then there is a solution. So, and I hope the solution could give a advantage for external, maybe for OMKM, and then maybe for government, or maybe uh, for you who watch this video. And I hope what I'm presenting today could give you an additional knowledge about how balance sheet work in OMKM, and then how important financial report, even though it's for business OMKM or for a small enterprise. Yeah, and I hope the OMKM could make a proper financial report. Of course, it's beneficial for them because they can make a proper loans on, or they can make easier to get a fund, to get a capital from outsider. Okay, I think that's it for me. Thank you so much. Okay, and thank you so much for listening me in the entire video and watching me for the entire video. And yeah, I think that's it for me, guys. Thank you. See you in the next video. Bye bye.